What's up and welcome back to Cleats to Whistle podcast. I am Brad Valdez.
I'm Brandon Meredith.
Hey, we are here, dude. Road trip, summer tour. Let's go.
Stop number 2 of the day.
Man, hashtag 2-a-days, hashtag summer tour. Make sure you put them down in the comments, man. You know, go ahead and introduce our guy right here.
Hey, so 6 degrees of separation. Chopper actually told us about this guy a long time ago.
Yep.
Said, hey, I got somebody that's in the family, you know, a little ways disconnected, but in the family at Lafayette. So when we brought this idea together and started saying, hey, we're going to do some road tripping, naturally, I guess you guys connected. So we're here at Lafayette and Lexington with Coach Ashton Bailey.
Thank you guys for coming. We love having you guys. I'm the assistant head coach and offensive coordinator here. This is my 3rd stint here at Lafayette. Coach Lawson, unfortunately, is at training today, so he couldn't make it, so he asked me to step in for him. But, we welcome you guys to Reed Lane.
Let's go, man. And this is, 3 assistants here. You know what I mean? Hey, the boys, now we can really talk.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Now we can trash talk all them head coaches on here today. Yeah, this is the coach talk day, you know.
Hey, yeah, but like I say, Coach, you're part of us now. You know, you're part of Cleats to Whistle podcast. You're part of the pack, and this is the open floor. Man, just
Chill out.
yeah, just be the boys.
Get to chat about. You will need to step up a little bit closer to that.
Absolutely.
There we go.
There we go.
It feels weird. We always have to do it with anybody because you're just not used to
Yeah.
doing it.
You're not used to it, man. It gets intimidating, you
That's
know.
why these things are so clutch because it's just right here. Like,
Yeah,
I don't have to worry about it.
yeah. So you know what? So what's your role? You know, you're the assistant head coach. You're the offensive coordinator. You know. Talk about your time. You know, being the OC here.
Yeah, so this actually would be my first year as the OC here. I was actually the defensive coordinator last year. We had some staff changeover, and Coach Lawson approached me, and we kind of talked about it, and we felt for the easiest transition from one year to the next to kind of keep our momentum rolling. We had a really good year offensively last year, so doing a lot of the same stuff we did last year, but with some different wrinkles and tweaks here and there to kind of what I envision us looking like this year. And then in the building, I actually teach money skills, so it's a good gig here at in the building, and do a little budgeting, little financial planning. So I try to take my own teaching to heart as much as I can.
Yeah.
So.
I need to get your number and give it to my wife.
Yeah.
Tell her to quit ordering stuff on Amazon.
Yeah, you know what? Gina's hitting the sheen. That's where she's at. So it's not as bad as Amazon.
Dude, every day. I'm talking 3-4 packages every day. Them daggone almost 2-year-olds, man. They need stuff every day. It seems like.
They need stuff, man. But being assistant coach, being that utility guy, he had a great relationship with Coach Abel. Shout out Coach Abel. And he did
Dog.
Oh, the dog button.
That's my guy, man.
That's
He's a
cold.
dog.
You got the dog button. Being that utility guy, be that right hand man. For talk about that as well, man. Because like you think some coaches think I'm just going to come in here, I'm going to coach my kids and go home. But that's a real assistant. Don't do that.
Yeah, what I really appreciate about Coach Lawson, he knows as an aspiring head coach one day, he kind of lets me do what I need to do. So, a lot of the day-to-day operations for the practice schedules and pregame schedules and a lot of that goes through me first, and then obviously get his blessing on a lot of things. But that's the best part about working for Coach Lawson is he is high integrity, and he wants the best for the program, and he has no ego about things. So if we want to do something one day, he's all on board. He is team first, and he's all about these kids, this program, which every good head coach should be. He's a dog, I would say.
You can hit the button. It's the white one.
That one right there.
Dog.
Boom.
There you go. You don't hear it, but we do.
But no, it's so every day is kind of different. We talked a little bit earlier. The weather right now, everybody's fighting it. It's hot. It's raining. It's lightning. But we roll with punches, and we just get better every day. And we've sitting about 90-ish kids right now, which is exponentially bigger than it was a few years ago. So we've done a really good job of instilling culture into this program, and that starts with Coach Lawson and his vision and where we're at. So
shout out to head man. You got to love it.
Gotta love it.
You did say something that kind of stuck out to me. Being on the defensive side, now coming to the offensive side, anybody who's on Twitter, head coaches will tell you that's one of the most important things, like learn the other side of the ball. Do you feel like thus far into the season, I know it's still relatively early, but being that defensive-minded guy now coaching offense, do you feel like the transition's gone well? Is it helpful to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, being on the staff last year, seeing what they did offensively last year, keeping a lot of the same verbiage, but also, yes, you see it both ways. It took me a couple minutes to realize I have to flip how I draw on the board again. Seeing and thinking, if I was the defense coordinator, how would I attack this, or how would I defend this run play or RPO or pass game? It definitely gives you more insight into the whole scheme of things. And, like you said, Twitter people, everybody thinks, it's Madden. You just pick a play and, what sticks to the wall is great. But, it's definitely helped me as a play caller. I've called offense before at a couple different schools as well. So having that background, offense and defense, I think it definitely helps, especially on game days of in-game adjustments. I think that's where the best coaches do their best job, is on Friday nights when you get hit in the mouth and all of a sudden that defense that's been a 4-2 all week is all of a sudden now they're in a 3-3, and you're like, all right, well, time to change basically everything we talked about all week. So
everything you practice goes out the window.
Yeah, and that's what you see more in high school of, sometimes you get a week-to-week kind of thing, whether it's somebody's offense or defense. So being able to adjust, and we have I would put our staff up against anybody's. We have a lot of young but also experienced coaches that, again, they're just here every day working. Coach Lawson and I were talking about it at practice the other day. We looked around and everybody was doing something. Everybody was getting coached, whether it was a freshman or seniors, and it's been really fun to see and really great to be a part of.
It's hard to do that with that many kids. Like, I don't know if you've been at smaller schools, but just seeing smaller schools and how they have to operate, they might have 6 coaches. And if you coach a position on offense, you coach its counterpart on defense. And, when you have numbers like that, even with like the 16 we had at Fern Creek, it's still difficult because you're responsible for like 8 or 9 kids and getting them coached up.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, with you getting this coaching game, what was the first time that you were like, what, I was like born to do this? Because once you get bit by that coaching bug, man, it's hard to get rid of.
So I had a unique experience. I've actually known I was going to coach since I was a junior in high school. I played at Shelby County back in the day with Coach Shipley was our head coach, and Coach Jerry Lucas was our offense coordinator, who's now the head coach at Collins, which is our week 1 game. So that's going to be a very unique experience for me and for him, and my best friends also on the staff at Collins. But while in high school, I was mainly a defensive player, but I gravitated towards Coach Lucas and his offense and just learning about football. And he was like, hey, why don't you wear my headset on Friday nights while we're on offense? So as a player in high school, I actually put on a headset for the first time, and he'd call the plays, and I was listening, and, we'd come off the field, and I'd, hey, you've thrown the ball 5 straight times, or this has happened. So, and I knew really, really quickly that that's what I was meant to do. So it was, Coach Lucas, I owe a lot to him and my coaching career and where it's taken me. He kind of helped it, scratch that itch a little bit for me early. And then from there, I went to U of L and was an intern there with Coach Strong for a couple of years and worked in recruiting, and then started, off my coaching career at Spencer County and gone a couple places since then. But yeah, so I've been a little bit everywhere.
You're a journeyman, man.
Hey, let's go. But it fires me up because he's like, hey, I want to be a head coach. You know what I mean? And you feel like you're taking pieces from each and every person.
Absolutely.
But shout out some of your mentors, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, Coach Todd Shipley, Coach Jerry Lucas, were the first 2 real football coaches I had, where instilled not only my love for football, but they taught us what it was like to be a good role model head coach, somebody you could look up to. Then obviously Coach Strong at Louisville. I was an unpaid intern. The man didn't need to know my name, but he knew my name. He talked to everybody. I owe a lot to him and his staff at that point, which there was now a NFL head coach was a GA, and the Sharon Moore was the head, GA at the time. Now he's at Michigan. So it's cool to look back on some of those times and memories and see where everybody's at now. But Coach Mike Marksberry at Spencer County and Coach Dennis Johnson at Woodford County, and then here Eric Shaw and John Lawson I've had a really, really cool opportunity to work for a lot of great men, not football coaches, but men that have taught me, here's how a football program should work, but here's how you teach young men how to become better men. Because at the end of the day, we get paid very little to coach high school football, and if you win some games, it's phenomenal. Obviously, we all want to win as many games as possible in championships, but we had 13 kids graduate this year, and I think about 10 of them are going to college or they're going into the workforce already. And so that's it's cliche to say, but that's really why you do it, and it's really rewarding to see those kind of things.
I think it's a good cliche for a reason. Like, everybody wants that, just being able to give your kids an opportunity to have one step up, like from any situation. Hey, come in here, bust your butt. We've got connections. We'll get you somewhere. You know what I mean? Or like you said, even skilled trades or getting into the workforce. Some kids aren't made for college. I'm one of them.
Cup of coffee. I always
baby.
said it because he said that on a podcast. He goes, I had a cup of coffee in college and I was out.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. So no, it's awesome to see. And you've already mentioned the fact that we've got another connection kind of through KP, the East West All-Star game. One of the guys that played here, Walker Wood. You had quite a few studs here over the past couple years.
We at one point, we had Walker Wood, who went to UK to play quarterback, ended up at McNeese, played a little bit there. Was a Paul Horning Award winner here in the state of Kentucky. Lucky Jackson, who's now with the Minnesota Vikings practice squad. Landon Young, who's with the Saints, and Jedrick Wills, who was drafted 10th overall by the Browns in 2020. So and then other guys as well as like Mason Allstats and Quentin Browns and Will Bischoff. The list.
Look at him.
You looked around and you were like, well, whatever we call offensively is gonna work. So, I had the opportunity to coach in that East-West game a couple years ago with Passmore and a guy I forgot to mention, but Simon Vanderpool, who's now at Trinity, but I worked for him at Western Hills. Another phenomenal man. We only got to coach for 1 year, but instantly, we had a bond and good friendship going forward. So, he texted me the other day, making sure we're doing all right if we need anything. So, and coaching in that All-Star game with Passmore, and he's a great young man. And I talked Walker into driving to Louisville with us. So, but all those quarterbacks now he'll actually be outside later today doing some quarterback training. So he does that with a lot of local high school kids. So he's giving back and doing a great job of that. So
I think KP's a knucklehead, but that's just me.
But listen, you keep talking about this, but I was like, and I always say this, and I think in every podcast, but that's why football matters. You know what I mean? You get to teach these guys life lessons that they really don't know are life lessons right now until they get older, and then they'll be like, that's a life lesson.
Yeah, all those times they told me grades matter. Yeah, I probably should have listened.
Exactly. Oh, my God, man.
Cup of coffee, baby.
Cup of coffee. It's just frustrating because I'm going through a similar situation right now with one of my kids, and it's just like, man, why couldn't you just, why? But that could be on mom, and that could be on the coach as well. You know what I mean? It's like, you being a coach, you have to take that leadership role and really tell this kid, hey, grades matter, just like you said.
But I think ultimately, you look in the mirror, man.
It's on the kid too, exactly.
A man in the mirror, I say,
And I will say, just to give him another shout out, Coach Lawson. We went 0-11 that first year, and it was one of the hardest years of our lives. But from day one, he has made sure these young men understand they're going to be held to a higher standard. So it doesn't matter if you're a starter, you're a role player. We do grade checks every week, and we had, I think, over 30 guys over a 3.0 GPA last year. So we have a lot of great young men, and this is a great school with academics and Dr. Orr, our principal, and Dallas Kingshover, our athletic director. They do a great job of leading from the top, and it trickles down from there.
Wow.
Even pulling in, I mean, there's construction everywhere, but it's, anytime I'm in Lexington, there's always construction. But it's just like pulling up, the campus is nice and big, and you got a lot of space to kind of work with, and it's kind of got like an old Southern vibe to it.
Yeah.
It looks historic.
We definitely have an old building. I will say that. It's just leave that one at that.
Buddy, I was at Fern Creek. I know all about old buildings.
Are you a routine guy or superstitious?
A bit of both, honestly. I'm very, very organized. Like I said, I kind of handle the day-to-day practice schedules and routines, and we print every script out, and we script everything out, and everything's got a time, and we try to stay on routine as much as we can. And then as far as superstitions, it's more just game day kind of thing of like always have to have a fresh pack of gum in my pocket. Typically if we're winning, I'm wearing the same thing every week, and if we don't, got to change it up a little bit. So fresh shaved head every Thursday night.
You can say a fresh haircut. It's fine. We'll let it fly.
What kind of gum?
Green. It doesn't really matter what brand, but green.
Like a wintergreen kind of deal. Yeah. Or a spearmint, something like that.
I like that. I like that, man.
Now, I will say, schedules are great. Practice schedules are fantastic. You got them down to every 5 minutes, right? Till the head man goes, all right, one more time, run it back.
Yeah. You know what? You're totally right.
For about 9 more plays. Yeah. So scripts are great.
As now on the offensive side, I feel like now I do hear defensive guys say, "Can I see that again one more time, please?" And yeah, that kind of gets you off schedule a little bit. But
and with 7-on-7 right now, you know, all the guys you coached with on defense last year, we know exactly where you stand.
Yep.
You get to yell at them, so it's kind of cool.
Yep, exactly.
So coming out of dead period, what did you do anything over dead period? Go anywhere? Like kind of what's your downtime look like?
So I golf. I don't golf well. Let me just say that. But my best friend, he's getting married in December, so we went to Maggie Valley, North Carolina, and had a golf trip with about 14 guys. And but again, the organizational part of me, we had a schedule of tee times and who was playing with who. So it was great to kind of get away. But as soon as like that July 8th kind of happens, you start to we're about to ramp it back up and things like that. So you're never too far off from thinking of, we got to do this that first week, or even in the off season, we got this lifting. So we coach for 10 to 15 games a year, but really it's a year-round kind of mentality for a lot of coaches.
I mean, you're at the point where you're back in it in January.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be a serious program, you're back in lifting in January. Is what it is.
You say you're offensive guy, you're a defensive guy. You know what I mean? So you got a lot of like stuff going on in your head, mentally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You put pressure on yourself, no matter what. If you're a head coach or if you're an assistant coach, you just don't want that head coach to let him down.
Right.
You know what I mean? How do you deal with that stress, man?
I think part of it's coming from you try to be as organized as you can, so you take out as many variables as you can by preparing for this look, or you try to give all the kids as many looks or scenarios in practice. We try to do as much as we can in practice that is game-like situations. So, we're yelling out, hey, it's 3rd and 6, or it's this or that. It also helps us from a coaching perspective of, okay, it's this down, this distance, what would I call here? Or, we're down by 2 and we got to get to this yard line, and, we have a phenomenal kicker, so maybe we need to get to this yard line and this hash. So I think you try to put yourself as coaches also in those situations, so that when it happens on Friday nights, it's not the first time it's happened in your mindset, and it kind of makes it a little bit calmer, everything move. It's just like playing football. The first time you get out there, everything starts moving around really fast. The more you do it, it slows everything down a little bit. But I think it helps that we have like I said earlier, a phenomenal staff here, where there's no guy on the staff that doesn't know what they're doing, and they all carry weight with whatever opinion they have. So if Coach Level, our receivers coach, looks at me and says, hey, let's run this on this play, I'm with you. Let's go. And having that buy-in from everybody and a consistent message and goal, I think really helps a lot of that.
Let's go, man. Decompressing, you know what I mean, too, as well. You know what I mean? How do you do that? You got to get away from it.
That's
somehow.
golf, baby. Take it out on that
You got to do something, right?
Honestly, like just sitting at home, I'm the biggest football like if it's max.
So once you're in
Tuesday,
it, you're in it, man.
I mean, I feel like I do a pretty good job of kind of once I'm away from here, disconnecting and being in the moment, whether it's hanging out with friends or family or other coaches here in the building. We have a really good relationship as coaches, but we also get to hang out together, and we can be friends and hang out and go out to dinner or whatever it is. So, but again, it also comes down to we're trying to win as many games as we can, but we know at the end of the day we're doing our jobs that is most important, which is putting everything we have into these kids, and that helps. Win or lose, it helps you kind of disconnect a little bit from that.
I love it. I love it.
And like when we talked to Hopkinsville, Coach Lopez last week, like there's tiers, right? There's a school that we just left that their gold standard is the gold standard, right? So being that you came from that 0-11 team, you've now had some success. So how do you see this season? What is successful to you this season? And you don't have to give me a win-loss.
No.
Offensively, what do you want to see?
Well, offensively, we're I put it every year in our scout or not scouting report, but our kind of offensive philosophy pages. I don't care if we win 60-56 or 3-2. If we outscore the other team, that's all I really care about. So that's the main goal. If there's going to be some weeks that we're going to have to rely on the defense, there's going to be some weeks they're going to rely on us. As long as we are picking each other up and we're playing complementary football, I've coached places before where or been places of got an offense that's this way, a defense that might struggle. We've got to be complementary to our defense and lean into our strengths and get out of what our kid. It's not college. We can't say, okay, we don't have this kind of player at this position. Let's go find them. We're going to do whatever our kids can do best and mold what we do around that. But as far as goals for this year. We've already kind of started that of, a lot of our last year we played a lot of sophomores and juniors. So a lot of guys that we have coming back this year are only going to be juniors or, we have a few seniors. But for us, success is just continuing that trend of buy-in from the kids. And if you guys see practice a little bit later, we don't have to do a lot of coaching on effort or intensity. The kids do that themselves. We tell them where to go and what drills to run and, what plays to run. Other than that, there's a lot of times we could probably sit back and just, hey, run this play, and practice could go as smoothly as possible. So, but that, again, that goes back to Coach Lawson and from day one, him instilling that integrity and purpose in these players. And, 0-11, it's tough. Nobody wants to be a part of it. There was only by the end of the year, 40 or so kids sitting at 90 right now. And they know when the whistle blows, their toes are on their line and they're ready to go. And, that's been the biggest positive to see that how quickly it's changed and the buy-in from the kids.
It was kind of a trap question because if you said like, 35 points a game, I'd be texting you, giving you a little trash talk. Hey, buddy, y'all only got 33 this week, pal.
Yeah, and this is what it is us, our community getting to know these coaches. Man, what a phenomenal episode. And this is what we try to do. You know what we do, man. We go around giving you guys some shine because the dedication and the sacrifice that coaches do, it doesn't go unnoticed to the guys that been in it. But for the people for your community, we want them to come out here on a Friday night and really support you and this team because that's what it's about, man. Getting that community awareness and come out and on a Friday night and support these guys.
Support your local schools.
Yes, support your local high schools, man. This is what it's about, man. This has been a great episode, Coach.
Oh, fantastic.
Hey, you brought it, boy. Let's go, man.
I was told to bring the dog, so I tried to bring it.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
Dakota's doing work behind the scenes. Hey, we miss you, Chopper.
Hey, Chop, man. God, dog, man. We miss you.
Yeah, well. Quit working on Fridays and come travel with us. Tell me you can't do it.
You have a number that you wore, when you played the game. Did that have a meaning to you?
Not necessarily. Growing up, I was actually more of a baseball guy than I was a football guy. I was a catcher. I always wore number 5. And then by the time I got to high school, running the ball wasn't going to be so much an option, so moved to 55. But that's kind of stuck, and now it's every password I use, and different things, and so yeah, that was always my go-to number. So now if picking lucky numbers, I always throw 55 or fives in there. So
Double nickel, baby.
roulette, five.
There you go.
$5 on
Yes,
five.
that's what I'm talking about. I love it. Let's go.
Go to Wendy's, get the 5 for 5, all that fun stuff.
Try to cut that part out of my life, but yes, don't disagree with you there.
Hey, this is the icebreaker question of the day, okay? And this was, you go to the fair. What's your go-to?
Well, as a short individual, I don't do heights, so I'm gonna stick something on the ground. The tilt-a-whirl, maybe the one that goes back and forth. That was always a good go-to, local fair game or ride to ride.
Yeah.
So,
What's your fair food?
what
What do you got to get when you go to the fair?
I mean, corn dog's not a bad option. Nachos, just junk, something deep fried. Can't go wrong. with
Yeah,
deep
you
fried.
can't go deep right. Hey,
Amen, brother. Amen.
look at us. Hey, boys being boys, talking about fried food,
Yeah,
baby.
You don't get this figure.
Hey, he said.
sticking to
Hey,
the
he
salads.
said wheat sodas. That's his problem.
Cold wheat sodas and chicken wings. Shout out Roosters, Bardstown Road.
Those will
Y'all are
get
my
you.
guys.
Those will get you.
Those will get you, man. Okay, you're sitting at home, right? You're watching a ball game on the TV. Okay, who's your favorite team? Who's your NFL team first?
Okay, NFL team Bengals. So they're going through chaos of just not signing first round picks for whatever reason.
Sounds like a great plan.
Yeah, great.
Just let
plan.
them go back.
Yeah.
Hey, don't worry about it.
But now living in Lexington, I'm surprised my car hasn't gotten keyed yet. Like I said, I went to Louisville. I'm a Louisville fan. I have a Louisville license plate, so I do get honked at a lot. I feel like in Lexington with that, but
You know what's funny? I'm a Tennessee fan. So when we said we were coming down here, I said, "Well, buddy, you're driving because I got a big old orange sticker on the back of my truck."
Oh yeah.
I don't need to come out in the parking lot
Yeah.
and be on fire.
What's your favorite snack when you're watching a game?
Good question.
good question. I mean, if it's candy, Nerd Clusters.
Ooh,
That's a good
okay.
one. But if we're just like, can't go wrong with wings and football.
Wings.
Hot honey wings.
Amen, brother.
I mean,
you're preaching to the choir. I'm right there with you.
Hot honey.
Football.
Not necessarily hot honey. I'm just saying wings and football.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
Football
but
starts and the diet kind of goes out the window. So
hey, we were just talking. We were texting back and forth the other night, and I was like, okay, what about this? What about this icebreaker? What about this one? He's like, dude, you're doing food back to back,
This
bro.
knucklehead says, "Hey, yeah, here's the two questions." I'm like, buddy, those are both food related. we don't need to be pointing out our weight on the internet.
diet starts Monday, of course.
Yeah, always, every Monday.
Yeah. The following Monday it starts. Oh man,
We still landed on two food questions, but it works out.
that's what I told. That's what I said. Hey, screw it. Hey, this is our podcast. We can do whatever we want.
We're just idiots with microphones.
Yeah,
That's all we
you got
are.
any more questions? I got a few more.
Go ahead and rattle one off. I'll come up with one. Dude,
Okay.
you know this is how it goes.
This guy over here, man. You know what I mean? You try to give him some shine, and
I'm a rookie.
hey, go ahead, you take it.
Yeah, you're the Look, hosted by Brad.
I know that, man. I know that. Okay. You talk about this team. Talk about these not necessarily your seniors, you know what I mean? Because you said you had sophomore and juniors playing last year, you know what I mean? But talk about some of these guys that are stepping up to be the leaders of this team.
Yeah. So we graduated our starting quarterback. So going into this year, we're going to have new quarterbacks. So Gio Condo, looked for him to kind of take a big step up. He's going to be a senior this year. He's one of our few seniors, but he's one of those that every year he's taken a step forward, and this will be the first year he's kind of had a chance to be his role and his team as the quarterback. So looking for him to have a really big year for us on the field, off the field. He's a great leader, great young man. Kale Locklear, you guys are going to talk to here in a little bit, came out last year as a junior. I think he's going to have a really good year for us as a slot receiver, maybe a little bit defense. Selfishly, I'm trying to keep him on my side of the ball a little bit more now. And then Mekhi Taylor, another 3-year starter for us, tight end, D end. He's finally. We always get so with our banquet, we always give out. We have a senior who is Mr. General. It's given to him every year by an outgoing senior. So Makai's given the Mr. General Award, which kind of goes to our leader of the team. So really looking for him to step up and become a bigger role on the team and do some great things. Jackson Grant's another. He's our kicker, he's our punter, he's our receiver, he's our safety. He's the first kid I've ever had as a kicker where usually, you keep the kicker back for the safety. Don't let anything break deep. He kicks, he just follows, and we just had to go, okay, somebody else is going to have to be the safety on this because he led our team in tackles as the kicker on kickoff. So, and then up front, we've got a lot of really good offensive linemen, defensive linemen, Kendon Wilson, Mikey Miles, I can go on and on.
Look at him. He's locked in. Hey, the season just started, and he's like,
see, you actually stole my question because that was what as soon as you started talking, I was like, I probably ought to ask about all them players coming back. Who he's looking out for. But I do have a question now. On your all schedule, who is it? Who's got the circle?
Well,
who's the one you're looking at the most? Obviously, week one.
Obviously,
we get that.
Coach Lucas Collins. We do play Shelby County week 4, so for me that'll be a homecoming game against Coach Miller. But for the team, Tate's Creek's always, we play for the bucket, the Roy Walton Bowl. There's a 10 bucket. We had a great game last year. They beat us. It was a great game. Coach Hawks does a great job over Tate's Creek. I anticipate another great back and forth game this year. Our district is Tate's Creek, Dunbar, and Henry Clay, so that might come down to the wire and kind of determine who's the 1 seed in the district. But obviously Tate's Creek, just because we were so close there last year, so trying to take that next step and win the district instead of coming in second. So I know for a lot of our kids that's a big motivation this year, trying to take that next step and secure the district.
It's a good answer.
Good answer. Great.
I think when I said everybody's standard is different, you pretty much just answered it right there with a different question. Next time we come back, we better see the 10.
Let's go, baby. Hey, we'll put it right here. Let's do it, man. Okay, then your favorite memory, as a player or coach. I know this is kind of loaded because there's so many memories, and a lot of mine are from now coaching. Because it's been so long that I played. I got a lot of great memories coaching. But go ahead and give us one.
As a player, got to be involved in a lot of great games, got to see a lot of great games. Favorite memory as a player was my senior year. Shelby County at that point was 6A. Collins wasn't a school yet. But we played Scott County because that was our district back in the day. It was really random districts, but we were down 25, 30 points at halftime, and we came back and we beat them 60-56 or something like that. Alex Matthews threw for 9 touchdowns. Jordan Burke had 6 touchdown catches. It was the most insane high school game I had ever been a part of at that point. And then coaching memories, I don't think there's necessarily a certain game that sticks out. It's seeing certain kids that you've had over the years, kind of maybe you saw them as freshmen and didn't expect them to contribute a lot, and then you get to 3-4 years later and they're on the field and they're doing this and they're doing that. So I won't necessarily say certain games as a coach, but just seeing some kids that are coming from not great backgrounds or don't have a lot of resources, and to kind of quote unquote make it out and get to where they're being. Lucky Jackson's a great example of a kid who he went through a lot at a young age. He went to Western. He didn't get drafted because of COVID and didn't get to do workouts, and now here he is, I think year 3 in the NFL on the practice squad. And so you're seeing things like that. That's, for me, that's the coolest memories as a coach.
One of my favorite things on that topic is just seeing guys get older. 5 years removed from it, you run into them at Home Depot or something, you stop in and, oh, hey, how you doing? And, what's up, coach? And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember you. You just go through so many kids, but just seeing them out in public and being successful and, really, really kind of getting into their own adult life and just having a nice little combo with them.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Love it, man. I got one question left, and this is, you know what I mean, this is just something that you aspire to be the head coach, you know what I mean? But what's one piece of advice that you would give to a young coach now?
Do everything you can to make the head coach's job easier. I try to do as much as I can day to day to make Coach Lawson's life easier. So if it's taking the practice schedule off his hand, if it's running drills or keeping us on time during our schedule or whatever it is, and always ask questions. Like go to booster club meetings, sit in and learn everything because that's the best thing about Coach Lawson is he lets me do all this, and every other coach I've worked with has also been very open and they'll answer questions that you have about being a head coach. And so again, just like the scenarios on a football field as a head coach, you don't see it for the first time, brand new. You kind of have an idea of going forward of what to expect as the head coach. And that's Coach Lawson's been great of, he was the interim for a year because of some things going on. And he's the first to say like he leans on his guys to help him, and that's the best part about Coach Lawson is he is humble, he is a great man, and he is the perfect head coach for what Lafayette needed and where we're at now. And we are having success now because of the things that he did from day one, even when we knew it was going to be a long year that first year.
I love it because you're just picking pieces and exactly what an assistant coach is supposed to do, and you're doing that little grind work and you remind me of this guy right here, man.
Taking the trash out in the coach's office because
Absolutely.
everybody will walk right past it, moving chairs, putting stuff up. There's just all kinds of stuff.
The little things matter on the football field and in a coaching staff. The little things matter. Football matters, and this is why we do it, man. Phenomenal episode. Phenomenal. I remember this whole day, hashtag two-a-days, hashtag summer tour. It's been phenomenal, Coach.
Dude, who would have guessed it?
Ooh.
You guys are just a couple dogs just out roaming.
No, we're a couple of idiots. We're a couple of idiots to get lost in the right place. Is what we are.
Hey, but Ashton, we appreciate you very, very much for taking this time out and us really getting to know you, man. 3 assistants just sitting up here talking, man, and that's what it's about is for your community to get out and know you on a bigger level and off the sideline, man.
Come check them out, man.
It's good stuff. You ready to end this?
Coming.
Yeah.
Let's
are
go,
you
baby.
Gonna throw me for another loop?
Hey, we had some little banter on this ending because he don't like it. But, hey, this is what we do. But like we always say, everyone has a story.
We're here for them to tell it.
Cleats to whistle.
Podcast.